65 horsepower trap that might pop wide open, Rats.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the TPT podcast. Your Kansas City Chiefs, they were disrespected. They were talked about. But guess what? They came away and welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the TPT podcast. Your Kansas City Chiefs were disrespected. They were talked about. Burrowhead, all week long they heard about it. But guess what? They ended up getting the win in Arrowhead this past Sunday. We're going to talk about what happened in the Bengals game and upcoming with the Eagles game. Your Kansas City Chiefs are now in the Super Bowl. They got it done versus the Cincinnati Bengals, a game where a lot of Chiefs fans were nervous going into, including me at the first of the week. I had a lot of people on my lives, if you follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, even, people I'd run into in real life, on the street. They were kind of telling me the Bengals. And all week long, we kind of heard people just say the Bengals. Burrowhead, they own Patrick Mahomes. But the more I looked at it, and I looked at the analytics side of it, and just each game and how things went down. The Kansas City Chiefs have lost each game by a combined 9 total points, 3 times each time. They led for about 90% of the game. Then in the fourth quarter, that's where the Chiefs would fall apart. In the fourth quarter, they were getting outscored 26-6. So it was really just the fourth quarter where the Kansas City Chiefs were losing. So my thoughts going into this Bengals game was the Kansas City Chiefs can just find a way to win in the fourth quarter. They're going to win this game. And a lot of people criticized me because I said the Bengals offensive line, it's a little beat up. Chris Jones, those don't really mix. That's just a disaster waiting to happen for Joe Burrow. A lot of you guys were in my DMs talking to me on TikTok Live. You don't know ball. Our offensive line was bad last year. We still made it to the Super Bowl. The offensive line mauled the Bills. The Bills' offensive line, I thought would do better versus the Bills' defensive line. I thought would do better than this Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. But it hadn't been good. The Bills' defensive line had not been good since losing Von Miller. Now, they go play the Chiefs. And my gosh, was I right. The whole week, and I may put some clips out too. The whole week, I said the Chiefs' defensive line, that's the key to this game. They're going to win. They can win and get 4 or 5 sacks. They're going to win this game. They got 6, so I was close. But Chris Jones came alive. Frank Clark, top 3 in all-time playoff sacks now, came alive. George Karlaftis has gone sack. The Chiefs' defensive line was the key to this game. And shout out to the rookies. Shout out to the rookie defensive backs. Snead was out. Willie Gay was out. I mean, guys were going out left and right. We'll talk about the guys on the offensive side of the ball that were injured that went out. But everyone had their role and played this past Sunday. And you had the mayor with the fraternity test and all that, or whatever it was, with the Patrick Mahomes, the DNA test of who Burrow's his father. The Bengals have always been the underdog team because they're Cincinnati. They took that and gave it to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs took that underdog role and embraced it. And now they had the bulletin material to go out there and kick the Bengals' ass. They really did. And again, guys stepped up when they had to. Sky Moore had to come in there and return punts. I know I said I never want to see Sky Moore return punts again. He went out there, returned a punt, set them up at midfield. And Patrick Mahomes, best player on earth. If he wins this Super Bowl in 2 weeks, he may go down as he may already be a top 10 quarterback of all time. I think in 15 years, we could look at Brady as the Bill Russell with the most rings. But these other guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, that start winning rings. And again, you could have Mahomes get 4 or 5 rings, and he's kind of the Michael Jordan. But Brady's kind of the Bill Russell with all the rings, or even like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. One-legged Patrick Mahomes going out there, willing his team to win. The penalty at the end. A lot of you Cincinnati salty fans are saying it's rigged. The NFL is rigged. You weren't saying when your team won last year, it was rigged. So it's only funny when your team loses, it's rigged. But when your team wins, it's not rigged. But you had guys. Marcus Kemp was out there catching passes. Had a big third down catch. Marcus Kemp, who is on the practice squad and is a special teams player. Juju went out. McCole Hardman went out. Tony went out. And those guys, like NVS, had to step up. And at the end of the day, they got the Bengals' ass. Third down, Chris Jones needs to make a play. I mean, my heart was pounding. When I really thought the game was over when Joe Burrow got it back with 2 minutes left, converted on that 3rd and 16. I said, here we go. Here's that movie again. But they were able to get it done. Chris Jones, that's why you pay a guy like Chris Jones. Frank Clark came alive. Everyone did their role. This was a huge, again, obviously it's a big one. You're going to the Super Bowl, but just a huge organization win. Everyone did their role. Shout out Brett Veach as well. Shout out Brett Veach. Getting these rookies coming in, playing well. McDuffie, Watson, Williams, Cook had a play. I mean, guys were silly. Then you had Karlaftis. So many rookies or second-year players out there, and they're making a huge impact. We'll see what they can do versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to get more into that right now. They got an Eagles team coming in. I respect the hell out of the Eagles. Great team, can run the ball. Jalen Hurts, great quarterback. I'm an OU guy, so I love Jalen Hurts. Yes, he's an OU quarterback. Alabama all of a sudden wants to claim him again. Can't do that. But this Eagles team can pound the rock. Again, they have not been battle-tested this year. The only time their defense was battle-tested, I guess, versus the Cowboys with Dak. And I guess the best quarterback they beat, in my opinion, was Trevor Lawrence. It's the best quarterback they've beaten. And again, that is not – it's a knock versus Philly, but it's not saying that Philly's a bad team or they're a fluke team. They're a good team. They're in the Super Bowl. But they have not been battle-tested yet. Jalen Hurts, we'll see if he's healthy. A lot of people are saying Patrick Mahomes is going to be healthy. Well, if the Chiefs don't have their receivers, if Juju doesn't play, I didn't even name that. Juju didn't play either, or came out of the game. So if they don't have Juju and some of those guys, we'll find more and more about it later in the week. We'll see more about that. But the Philadelphia Eagles can pound the rock. Good defensive line. The keys to this upcoming Super Bowl, and I don't want to give away too much because we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it with some former NFL players this upcoming week. We're going to have more and more guests on the podcast. Make sure you guys go check out Alec Holler, Will Shields, Eric Warfield, Jimmy Martin, Zarek Lawler, Mike Tazi, all those guys on the podcast last week, bringing great in-depth analysis. I'm going to have some more people on the podcast coming up, so make sure you guys go check out all those videos. But some of my last thoughts here is never doubt the Chiefs. I mean, so many people this week doubted the Kansas City Chiefs. When you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, you're always going to have a chance. Always. And that brings me to my other thing. Chiefs fans, let's not think about the Super Bowl just yet. Soak in this moment. Soak in what we have. We're in the good days. These are the good old days. How the 60s were and how, the 90s, even though we never won a Super Bowl, these are the good old days. These are the best days you'll see from the Chiefs, maybe ever. They're going to their third Super Bowl in 4 years. It could have been almost 5 Super Bowls, wasn't for Dee Ford and Patrick Mahomes missing Harden and wide open in the end zone. Could be 5 years. 5 years in a row. The Chiefs are almost in the Super Bowl. AFC Championship 5 years. Soak this in. Enjoy this. You beat the Bengals, a great team. The defense held the Bengals to 20 points. One of the best pass teams. And again, you're going up against a Eagles team. If I think they can kind of double-ish A.J. Brown and stop the run game, that's a game they can win. And we're gonna get more into the Super Bowl as we're going on. But Chiefs fans, enjoy this. Soak this up. Your Kansas City Chiefs are headed back to the Super Bowl. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what some of your expectations are going into this Super Bowl and some of your thoughts about the absolute disrespect of this Bengals team and how some of these Chiefs players came in. Shout out all the guys that stepped up. Bud Kerr, Sky Moore, Marcus Kemp, all these guys that stepped up for your Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, I will be back for a lot of episodes this week on the TPT podcast. Having some more guests. We'll be back on Wednesday to see more episodes on the TPT podcast. We'll see you next time, guys. Remember, go Chiefs.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media, and check out our videos each week.